What up, my champions in training? Welcome back to Fire and Fighting. It's Reemus here. The topic of today's video is suppressing your ego, staying humble, staying hungry, so that you can use every single moment as a significant learning experience. Now, there's gonna come a point where you're gonna get really good because you're a champion in training. You're training often, you're doing everything you're supposed to, so you're going to get good. It's inevitable. But so let's say that you start out in a gym where you're not the best, but you work hard and you now become the best in that gym. What happens to this type of guy a lot of the time, not every time, but a lot of the time, he starts to get a bit lazy. He starts to stop pushing himself. He starts to believe in his own myth. And what happens is, now that he's better than everyone in his close vicinity, there's no one else to actually push him or actually give him that feeling of urgency, really give him that feeling of, oh, I'm not the best, I still need to keep working. So you see this all the time. You know, every gym has one or two. You go to a gym and you see a guy who knows he's good, and this guy probably is good. You know, you see it all the time. Talented guys with a lot of skill, hard to say a lot of ambition, but I think it's more ego than ambition. Usually the symptoms of this are so easy to see. A guy sparring, he has his hands down, he's being a bit lazy, he's trying to taunt a bit too much, but you have to think, seconds are running out until you're dead. I can't be any more bland than that. It's just, you have to actually think that every second that goes by is being used up. And if you don't use it to your full potential, if you don't get the full potential out of every second and every moment, then you've just wasted that second. So if you're the type of guy to get good and then you give it a, you get a bit flashy, you get a bit showy, just realize this: you're wasting time, and what you're doing is you're serving your ego rather than your greatness. This is your mission. Every single moment, make it count. So in sparring, in the gym, don't ever admire your own work. Continue as if you're not impressed. Continue as if you could do better, because you always can do better. Until you're the #1 pound for pound, you can do better. And even when you are, you still can do better. So even when you get in the ring with someone you know who's lesser than you, and you kind of can, you don't really have to give it 100%, still give it 100%, give it 110%. And that doesn't mean beat up the guy, but it does mean work on something that maybe you're not good at, or something that could be worked on, or watch his feet and really concentrate. If you're really trying to get better at a certain skill at every time, you're always going to be learning, you're always going to be progressing. The rate of your expansion is going to be unstoppable. But more than that, you're going to use up every second. Have the mindset of there is value in every single moment, no matter how much the guy isn't really that good. So this is what it's about. It's about acknowledging that you always need urgency. A second spent without urgency, to me, is a second wasted. It's a second that could have been better. And every time you don't give it your all, it doesn't have to be full intensity, it could just be full focus. So say, for example, you're in with that guy, maybe you do want to have your hands down, be it because you want to work on your shoulder rolling. Don't do it out of ego, because your ego doesn't want you to get better. It wants to believe it's better, but consequently it's going to be your downfall, or it's at least going to be the suppression of what could have been a bigger learning experience. So that is it from me today. I hope this helped in some way. I think this thing is actually really important. If you liked it, make sure you like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. So that's Reemus. We're signing out.